Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and Restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Traci is told she's shining by Diane and Jack when they first meet her at the club. Traci believes she deserves this happiness because she has waited a long time for it. Inquiring about the formal proposal, Jack watches Diane admire her engagement ring. It was dashing, according to Traci. I have no doubt that I wish to wed Alan Laurent. He is unlike any other individual I have ever met. She asks Jack to lend him the company aircraft so they may travel to Paris tonight to get married. Jack seems surprised. Traci observes the decline in zeal. Paris? Jack asks. Diane questions if she came up with the idea. According to Traci, it's the world's most romantic city. Diane and Jack believe it is hurried. According to Traci, their only goal is to locate the ideal location. Alan is quite eager. All of this seems quite impetuous to Jack. He doesn't feel comfortable with it. Where is he, anyway? He asks, offering to speak with Alan. As they sit, Traci informs them that Alan has left to attend to some matters. He believes he has been hacked since he is receiving texts on his phone about a security issue. Jack scowls. Traci believed he was in favor of Alan. Maybe he's becoming a worrier, Jack shrugs. Alan has never acted like someone he's not, Traci assures him. Jack is worried that they would flee and get married without them even though he would love to see their nuptials. Traci says they won't elope. They want their wedding to be attended by every abbot. Jack is asked to accompany her down the aisle. The words "it would be my honor" bring Jack to tears. He gave her away during her wedding to Brad, they remember. It feels like a lifetime ago, Traci wonders. John is missed. Traci tells Jack that she thinks of him every single day. It's his behavior. He was really pleased with you. Jack is sorry for dampening her spirits, he knows she is capable of caring for herself. Diane tells them not to cry anymore when Kyle shows up. Phyllis and Sharon have returned home, he reports. Diane asks whether Phyllis feigned it. According to Kyle, they were being held captive together. Jack is glad they're all right. According to Kyle, they are psychologically sound. Traci hopes the culprit is apprehended quickly. When the big day arrives, Kyle inquires after noticing her ring. Traci chuckles and says she's not sure, but the engagement will be brief. Additionally, Eileen Davidson hinted at a comeback. But as whom? Sharon would like Nick to visit London. Sharon gives Nick tea and a scone at Crimson Lights. He believes it to be a bribe. It's a hint, she says. He assumes she wants to know if he has considered going to London with her and Faith to visit Noah. Sharon acknowledges it. Although it's an alluring proposition, Nick thinks he must decline. Sharon assures him that they won't have to depart immediately. Nick acknowledges that taking a break from Newman is never a good idea. He could work remotely, Sharon says. It's not really about work, according to Nick. After everything she's been through, she needs time with her children. She ought to use that time to persuade Mariah to accompany her. He requests that she greet the king on his behalf. Sharon grinned. Even when they discuss her strength, Nick believes she needs time to recover. I swear to you that until you return, I will continue to monitor the situation here. In order to watch over her, Sharon needs him to arrive. Nick is informed by Sharon that he has known her for the most of her life. It's possible that he knows her better than she does. Nick gives a nod. She should therefore pay attention to him and give herself some time to recover. It won't be the same without him there, Sharon shrugs. For her, spending time with them all would be extremely meaningful. Do you ever think about us? Nick asks her honestly. You and me? Asks Sharon instead. He gives a nod. She doesn't have to respond, Nick assures her. More, the reasons Alan abducted Phyllis and Sharon. Nick is asked by Sharon why he is considering this at this time. Nick is aware that this is not unexpected. He senses that she wants something would happen when they are together, such as when they say goodbye. Sharon has no idea what he's discussing. Nick believes she does. I believe something is there. He wants the truth from her. Sharon nods. Have I ever felt lonely? Yes. Is she missing their possessions? Of course, when it was good. Naturally, she has considered trying again because he is always there for her. It's not as if I have any fantasies about it. Can you look me in the eye and tell me that you've never thought about being with me again? Sharon says. Of course, I've thought about it, Nick says to Sharon. I have, of course. He even considered leaning in. However, he then recalls the history, which is filled with suffering. He has injured her severely. She claims to have harmed him as well. He feels lucky that they are friends and questions how she could forgive him for that. We're in a fantastic position. I would most likely just make a mess of things once more. Sharon shrugs. This time, they might get it right. Nick is content with their current situation and will always support her. That won't ever change. Read more. Cameron Grimes expresses her surprise. Flying sparks between Adam and Chelsea. Adam orders an opinion piece at the old ranch about Billy's new business being doomed to fail. This is about payback, says Chelsea as he disconnects and turns to face her. He claims that he is not seeking retribution. Well, you're going to get it, she responds. Adam claims that the call was solely related to his job. He discovers she has prepared a romantic dinner after she informs him he is off the clock. As she stated, it's retribution. Although he hasn't done anything illegal recently, Adam worried he would be in danger. He teases that he raised the bar quite high the other night and finds out that she prepared anything. He was told by Chelsea that it made them closer. She wishes to return the favor. It's never too late for another chance at romance, Chelsea tells Adam as she sits there. They make assumptions based on Adam's recent observation of an elderly couple holding hands. Perhaps they finally figured out how to do it correctly. She's hoping they don't take that long. As long as they arrive, Adam is unconcerned. He questions whether she believes they are going too quickly. What's going on with us? Where are you? Chelsea doesn't mind. Adam is as well. They're not a couple again, but they're also not adolescent lovers. She makes Adam feel like a kid again, he teases. They must face each day as it comes. Chelsea concurs, they must remain present and make wonderful memories with one another. Quiche Lorraine is the dish she reveals. Adam assures her that it's amazing. She refuses to give out her recipe. Mystery is necessary for romance. More, the true cause of Phyllis and Sharon's abduction. Following his meal, Adam informs Chelsea that it was among his favorite meals ever. They talk about Connor and Johnny being at the main house. All night, they will be playing games. Chelsea acknowledges that she is a little anxious and finds it difficult to communicate with each other. There is no pressure, Adam assures her. All she wants is to do it correctly this time. Adam concurs, but they are having to put in too much effort. We've already triumphed against love. Usually, you don't get another chance. When it comes to dessert, Chelsea chooses to serve baked cake. She chuckles, I thought I would try again. After tasting it, Adam declares it to be the best cake he has ever tasted. If you try again, sometimes you do get it right, she reflects. She pretends to remove the frosting from his face while they joke about. They joke that they like things messy, and he puts some on her nose. Adam approaches, and they discuss following their gut feelings. Baltimore might not have been a mistake. She is just authentic, she doesn't need to be flawless. They share a kiss. Before long, they are undressing in the bedroom. He places her on the bed and they make love after she tells him she's ready to create some joyful memories. They then decide to make breakfast together, but they keep in mind that they still have the rest of tonight to spend. They resume their kissing. Alan's story starts to connect with Phyllis and Sharon's. Kyle questions Traci at the club about Alan's belief that his phone was compromised. she shares the text messages that stated security breach at the clinic with Kyle, Jack, and Diane. Safety measures implemented. They seemed like alerts, she scowls. Kyle is now frowning. Summer said Sharon and Phyllis were being held at a clinic, he reveals. Where is this clinic? Asks Traci. Kyle claims that it was abandoned and located outside of town. Traci argues that there wouldn't be any security to compromise if it was abandoned. Jack asks Kyle whether he believes there is a connection between it and Alan's phone notifications. Kyle doesn't understand how with a facility that hasn't seen patients in years, what would Alan have to do? Traci simply finds it strange. Perhaps Alan is also being targeted by the same individuals that took Phyllis and Sharon. The Abbotts advise her to forget about it and concentrate on getting married. Diane queries whether Ashley has been informed yet. When they arrive in Paris, Traci says they will let her know. She fears that she will perceive them as being in a hurry. Jack promises to look after Ashley. Just enjoy the moment, Traci. More, Alan's strange reality. Nick encourages Sharon to visit London at Crimson Lights. This time with their children is what she needs. Sharon says they will be unhappy that he did not attend, but she will still go. Are you certain that nothing I say would make you reconsider? Nick is going to think about it. Summer enters and expresses her concern for her mother. I think your whole ordeal has really hit her hard, she says to Sharon. According to Summer, her mother is simply acting strangely and losing her train of thought. She's generally very observant. Sharon notes that she may need to see a doctor because she was drugged. Nick consents to accompany Summer to see how Phyllis is doing. He promises Sharon that he will consider the topic they discussed and report back to her with his thoughts. Sharon requests that he inform her if she can be of any assistance to Phyllis. More, will Phyllis become closer to Nick or Billy as a result of her breakdown? Diane offers to assist Traci with her wedding planning at the club if necessary. They make fun of Jack's worry over the house remodeling. Traci leaves after receiving a call from Alan. The other three remark on how lovely it is to witness her happiness. When she comes back, she claims that her head is spinning once more. Alan is at the airport. He bought the final ticket for tonight's final commercial flight to Paris. When Jack and the others learn that he is traveling alone, they are shocked. Instead, they decide to follow the original plan and board the aircraft together. He stated that he needs some time, Traci clarifies. He is getting ready to surprise her in some way. Well, this guy is just full of surprises, isn't he? Jack asks. Traci looks concerned and sighs. Diane and Jack were seated at their usual table at the Genoa City Athletic Club, sipping on their drinks and discussing the latest happenings in their lives when Traci Abbott walked in, radiating an unmistakable glow. Her smile was wide, her eyes sparkling with joy, and her entire demeanor exuded a happiness that was infectious. Diane was the first to notice and immediately commented, "Traci, you're glowing. What's the secret?" Traci laughed, her cheeks flushing with a mix of excitement and pride. "I guess it's just happiness," she replied, her voice tinged with a sense of fulfillment. "I've waited a long time to feel this way, and I truly believe I deserve it." Diane's eyes immediately caught the glint of the engagement ring on Traci's finger, and she reached out to admire it. "Oh, Traci, it's stunning." "When did this happen?" she asked, her voice filled with genuine excitement. Jack, ever the protective father figure, leaned in with a curious yet cautious expression. "Yes, Traci, tell us everything. How did Alan propose? Was it as dashing as he is?" Traci's face lit up even more as she recounted the proposal. "It was absolutely perfect," she gushed. "Alan took me to this beautiful garden at sunset, and he got down on one knee. He said everything I've always wanted to hear. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. I am 100% sure I want to marry Alan Laurent. I've never met another man like him." The joy in Traci's voice was palpable, and Diane couldn't help but share in her excitement. "That sounds so romantic," Diane said, her eyes softening. "You two are going to have such a beautiful life together." Jack, however, seemed to be processing the news with a bit more reserve. He leaned back in his chair, his brow furrowing slightly as he asked, "So, what's next? Have you set a date?" Traci nodded eagerly. "We want to get married in Paris," she announced, her voice filled with dreamy anticipation. "In fact, we were hoping to fly over there tonight to start looking at venues." "Jack, would it be possible to borrow the company jet?" Jack's reaction was immediate and unmistakable. His eyes widened, and he seemed momentarily speechless. "Paris?" he repeated, his tone laced with surprise and a hint of concern. Diane, noticing the shift in his demeanor, quickly chimed in. "That's quite the plan, Traci. Was this your idea, or Alan's?" Traci, still caught up in her excitement, didn't seem to notice the subtle tension. "Oh, it was mutual," she said. "Paris is the most romantic city in the world, and we both agreed it would be the perfect place to start our life together. Alan's so eager to make this happen. He's already looking at venues and planning every detail." Jack exchanged a glance with Diane, his concern growing. "Traci, this all seems a bit rushed," he said carefully. "Are you sure you're not getting caught up in the moment? Marriage is a big step, and planning a wedding in Paris on such short notice, it just seems very impulsive."